So, guys, welcome back. So, this is day three of our 200 days DSA question series. But before we jump in, let me make one thing clear. This is not a class, um, I would say, and this is not a lecture. This is basically a discussion, okay? And it's a place where we think together, we get stuck together, okay? Um, and most importantly, uh, we learn how to approach to a particular problem, okay. um, I would say like a real engineers. So at the interview, uh, basically in real interviews, nobody will give you a perfect solution, okay. uh, you have to build that solution yourself, okay. So here I won't be jumping into the optimal solution. We will be trying first the brute force approach, and why that approach is failing, that we will discuss, and then we will go towards the optimization step by step, okay. So if you are planning for good product based companies, be it fang or be it any mid size or startup, good startup, uh, this this discussion is for you. If you struggle to think uh, how to solve DSA question, uh, and the uh, question doesn't, the solution doesn't click you, okay. Or even if you already know about DSA quite a bit, but you can come here for refine your approach, okay. So that's what the series is about, okay. So today, let us think about how we can solve to some problem. Okay. Um, this is the famous question of lead code to some three sum. Okay. Is asked by lot of companies. Okay. So we will first be trying with the brute force, as you know. So let's do it. Before starting this discussion, please grab your this thing diary, okay, diary or notebook or anything, okay, which is okay. Let's start. Given an array of integers num and an integer target, okay. So you are given nums, okay, and here we have taken to sum as the function, okay. And in function we will be given the input as nums, and we will be given the target. So this is the question, I mean, these values will be given to you, okay. So nums and target both will be given to you. What we have to do is we have to return the indices of two numbers such that they add up to target. So basically we want to have the indices, okay. So give me a second, okay. second. And I'm just integrating this tab so that I can, like, we can discuss properly. Okay. So I think I should share the entire screen. Okay. Now, yeah, do some. Okay. So let's make. Okay, I have to sign in first. So I'll just sign it first. So let us start discussion. When you see this problem that you have given an array of nums and you are given a target, so how do you approach it? What will be your approach? So to sum, how do you approach? So what we have to do is, uh, let us take two pointers. Okay, if this is my, let's say this is my nums, and 1 3 6 10 2 5 4. Okay, and let's say my target is, let's say my target is 7. Okay, so what I can do is I can put my I here at this location, and I will traverse J up to the last. Then again, I'll put my I here, and J will start from here. Like, why we are doing it? Let me just tell you why we are doing it. So what I'll do is, what will be nums of I plus nums of J? So this is the uh, number. These are the two numbers of this array. Okay, any two numbers. It depends on what is I and what is J. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give this condition if nums of I plus nums of J is equal to target. Okay, if this is target, then I would say that my target is matching. Okay, so here the target is 9 means my ith element will be 2. So nums of I will be 2 and nums of J will be 7. Okay, so I'll get the target 9. So what we have to do for I and J, we have to do traversal. So in this case, if I starts from, so in the end what I'll do, I'll have to do, this should be my last ith element, and this should be my last jth element. So what will be the ith element position? It will be n minus 1, right? And what will be the last jth position? It will be n. Okay, and what will be the initial position? If the initial position of I is 0, then jth position has to be 1. Matlab jth position is always I plus 1 every time. So when I is 3, j will start from this next element 6. Okay. When I is 6, j will start from this. Okay. So whenever you have an I, the j is always I plus 1, right? Okay. So j will start from I plus 1 and it will go up to n, and I will start from 0, it will go up to n minus 1, right? This should be the idea. This should be our idea. Okay. Now, how do I traverse? Okay. So simple. For I in range, I'll just write down this code 0 to n. Okay. And what will be my n? N is equal to length of nums, right? Whatever is the number of elements in the num, it will calculate the length. So my n will be length of nums. Okay. And we have to give one more for loop for j in range. Okay, uh, my I has to be less than, I mean 1 less than n, right? I has to be 1 less than n. Okay, so from 0 to n, j range will be from I plus 1 to, from I plus 1 to n. I plus 1 to n, this will be my j. Now I'll give one condition: if nums of I plus nums of j is equal to target. Okay, target is given. All right, the target is given. So let us start. Let us write n is equal to len nums, right? Then what we can do is we can start the for loop zero to n minus 1, right? For j in range I plus 1 to n, right? If nums of I plus nums of j is equal to target, then what we need to return? Return I comma j. This is what we have to return, right? So you may assume that each input would give exactly one solution. Okay. Return the indices of two numbers. It is given. We have to return the indices of two number. So I and j are the indices. Okay. Else, what will be the condition? So if we just try to execute it, What happened? I have to log in. Okay. If I run this, okay, so this is accepted and our output is also coming correct. Target is 6. Case 3 is target 6, 0 and 1. Yes. So just look at the constraint first before submitting. Constraint, the number of elements in the um, this one is 10 to the power 4. So here you can see there are two for loops running. Okay. So for this, for this, my time complexity will be order of n, right? And this is also nested for loop, right? This is nested for loop. So the time complexity of this loop will also be order of n. Okay. Time complexity of this will be order of 1. It is constant, right? We are just comparing with the target. Okay. So the time complexity becomes order of n into n plus 1. Okay, so this one we can ignore. So it will be big O of n square. This will be our time complexity. So when we submit, there there is a possibility that it may show TLE error. Okay, but I'm not sure because it is 10 to the power 4, right? And nums of I can take any number from 0 to minus 10 to the power 9 to 10 to the power 9. That doesn't matter. Target takes value of 10 to the power minus 9 to 10 to the power 9. Okay, so we have to look after this first constraint. N takes the value of 10 to the power 4. So when we square it, because there is double nested loops and uh, order big O notation is n square, order of n square, so it becomes 10 to the power 8. So there might be possibility that if it is greater than 10 to the power 10 to the power 8, then it will throw TLE error. All right. So it will throw TLE error. Okay. Let us try submitting it. It may or may not throw TLE error because okay, but but the time taken is, you can see here, runtime is 1713 ms, means microseconds. Okay, so just we can just check it whether ms is microsecond or not. Okay, so this time we have to reduce it. This is what we are here. So 1713 ms delete code means what? We can be very sure, right? Okay, this is millisecond. Okay, So the time is given in millisecond. All right, so I'll just close these. Okay, so the time is 1713 milliseconds, and I'm beating 28.73% of the contestants, right? So there are more challenges. We can do it later. We can do them later. Okay. So guys, are you able to develop this idea? How this nums of I and nums of j, we are giving condition, and this is how it is executing. Now can we, so 1713. So we can just write it down. Time complexity is coming 1713 milliseconds. Okay. Can we bring it down? Can we bring this time complexity down? What will be the space complexity? What is the space complexity? Order of 2 only. Okay. So it becomes order of 1. Order of constant, because we are taking only two space I and j. Okay. So if the nums, whether the num is 2, 3, or crores, 1 cr, I mean the number of elements in the num is, maybe it is crore, 10 crores, it doesn't matter for us. All is matters is what is the space we are taking, what space we are using in our system to store the result. Okay, so the space complexity is order of 1. That's it. So it means that it is constant, it is not changing with respect to whatever is the length of nums, right? So that is how we uh, do it. Now we have to reduce this time complexity. Okay, so what can be our thinkology? What will be our thinkology? How can we proceed towards this problem? Okay, how can we think, like, can we, what actually we have to think is, now we have two for loops. Okay, can we reduce this for loop? If we reduce it, definitely our time complexity will get reduced. Definitely our time complexity will get reduced. Okay, so this should be our thinkology. So can we think on those lines? Are we able to think on those lines? Okay, I think the only way of doing is something you need to have pick and take. Pick and take, something you need to have pick and take. When you think about pick and take, okay, you need to think that we can use the dictionary. Okay, we can use a hash map. This is the only thing where we can see that something we can pick out, and our time complexity will be order of 1, so that we can reduce this for loop. Okay, we can reduce this for loop, this one, the lower one. Okay, how do we proceed towards this step? How can we proceed? Okay, So let us make it within. Okay, now we have this for I in range 0 to n. We will do this as it is. We will just take range from 0 to n. Let us start with thinking 0 to n, right? Now what we can do, we can create a hash map. Hash map is a very simple concept, guys. Hash map is basically for reducing the time complexity from order of n to order of constant, or O of 1. Okay. So when you use hash map, you are reducing the uh, time complexity from O of n to O of 1. All right. Now let's say this is our hash map. So what is the idea? Where is your brain going? So whenever we talk about hash map, let's say I have this x of 0, y of 1, z of 3. So this is basically a type of dictionary, right? Hash map is nothing but dictionary. So it will have key and value pairs. This you must be knowing. You have to know it. If you don't know, just memorize it. Dictionary is like when we call this key, we get the value. This is what the dictionary performs. Okay. So what we can do is we just run a for loop, and what we can do is we can just define if okay what is our target. So let us think about this. Mm, let's say this is our one. Let us take this same. So 2, 7, 11, 15. So nums is 2, 7, 11, 15. Okay. So guys, I am doing this on the pad. You can also do the same on your notebook. Okay. So my target is 9. What if, okay, so let's say we have this dictionary. So what we can do is, let's say my nums of I is this. Okay. Let's say my nums of 0 is 2. Okay. So what I can think is I have to get the other element, right? So what will be my other element? Let's consider it as difference. Okay. Or element 2. What is my element 2? Element 2 has to be my target minus this 2, right? It means that target minus nums of I. This has to be my element 2, right? So If I search element 2 in this dictionary, like just we will pick and take. Okay, so what if I call this key, and this key is basically element 2? Okay, so my target is 9 minus nums of a is 2, so my answer has to be 7. So what I can do is I have to search this 7. I have to search this 7 in this dictionary. I have to search this 7 in this dictionary, and if it is there in dictionary, we will just return I, and uh, what we will return, let's say this is my dictionary, 2071. These are my indexes. These are my indexes of this nums: 11, 2, 15, 3. So this is my dictionary. So what I have to return, I have to return um, dictionary of, so dictionary is hash map. I have to call, I told you, if you call key then you get value. So what you have to call, hash map of uh, hash map of this difference, because this is the difference coming, means element 2. Hash map of element 2. What we will get, we will get index, means 1, right? We will get index. So in the end, what I have to return, I have to return hash map of element 2 comma I, right? This I have to return because I is one of the this element. I is one of the element. I is one of the index, right? So man, if nums of I is 2, so I have to return this I here. So this I have to return. Simple. Okay. So let us start writing the code. Okay. Let's start. So for I in range, if element 2 in hash map. So here I have to define a hash map also. Hash map is equal to, it's a dictionary, right? So if element 2 is found in hash map, then what I'll do is I'll return hash map of element 2. This I am calling comma I. Okay. Now what is element 2? This also we have to define. The computer doesn't know what is element 2. Okay. So element 2 is equal to target minus nums of I, right? That's it. This is the code. And if element 2 is not found, then just put what key value pair. Okay, else how do you take key? How do you uh, how do you find the key? So this 2 I have to return. It means that what is this 2? 2 is nums of I. So what I have to add, return simply nums of I is equal to I hash map in hash map. So hash map of nums of I equals I. Why? Because what is our value? Value is our indexes. Because this value only we have to return. Here we are returning the value. Here we are returning the value, not key. So when we have to form the dictionary, we have to, how do we write it? This is nums of I. Any element is nums of I. And what is this? I. This is nums of I and this is I. So how do you write to create dictionary? Nums of I is equal to I hash map. Hash map of nums of I is equal to I, right? This is how the dictionary will get created. So I think there is for J in range. What is wrong? Should delete it. Should delete it. Element 2. See, all these errors you have to check before submission, right? Hash map of. Yeah, should return and it has returned. So what we have done is we have returned. What we are actually doing is we are calling the value through this key. And what is this key? Key is element 2. So uh, value will come from this and this value will come from I. Now let us submit. All right, so with double for loop, our total time coming was 1713 milliseconds, right? This was our time. And with hash map, I'm beating 100% of the candidates. Okay, memory is also less, and the time taken to execute this code is bare minimum, means it's almost equal to 0 milliseconds. Okay, so since there are only 4 elements in this nums, this code is getting executed very fast. Okay, So this is how we can do this. 0 milliseconds. Can we do this? We'll first be taking all easy questions, okay? Merge to list, not sort. Okay. What is valid palindrome? A phrase is a palindrome if after converting all uppercase letter into lowercase and removing all non-alphabet saying forward and backward alphabetical letter. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. All on alphanumeric character. Okay, guys, so tomorrow we will do this question valid palindrome. All right. So We have started as a series of our target will be more than 200 plus lead code questions we'll be covering. It's basically a discussion, guys. And uh, first we are basically taking up blind 75, and we will think of doing some theory in between as well for trees and substrings and all those things. So some theory part we will also be looking at, because that will add up to our concept building. So we are not in a hurry to complete everything super fast. No, we will be going very very slow as a beginner. Okay. And basically this discussion is not for I would say expert or somebody who is already done 1,000 plus questions. Okay. So I would say the people who really want to get benefit out of this series, I would prefer that these people come forward and take part in the discussion process. Okay. So that's all for today, guys. Tomorrow we will meet at the same time, 11, 11:15, 11:30, whatever fits. Okay, it's flexible. You can just check out uh, when does this go live. Okay. So that's all for today. Bye bye. See you and take care.